Well, hello once again, everybody. Stringles Roscoe here with another speed drawing. Today, I decided to draw Sakura Kasugano because she's finally been released for Street Fighter V. Here we go. I think this is really quite exciting. I'm a pretty big fan of Street Fighter. How many Street Fighter characters have I drawn for the speed drawings? Like 2 already? I've drawn more on my DeviantArt, which, if you want to check them out, you can check them out on my DeviantArt. I haven't drawn Sakura yet before. And, yeah, wow. I saw the way she was designed for Street Fighter V when they announced Arcade Edition, and I was like, wow, she looks good. She looks real good. I like the way she looks. She looks real good. And actually, I had, I'm a bit late with this video, which, you know, I guess I don't have too much of an excuse for, but the thing was, I started recording, some drawing before, and then, my computer froze for seemingly no reason, and so I had to start over again. And I had some other poses that I was working on instead of the pose that you see going on right now. And I was like, well, Smider was watching me draw a little bit, and he was like, oh, you do that pose. I like that pose. And then the computer died, and so I had to start over again. So yeah, I started over again. But you know what? I wasn't completely happy with the pose that I had given her. And so here I am starting over with a different pose. And I'm glad I did, because I think that the new pose that I drew ended up looking a lot better, a lot nicer. Here I was trying to have her leaning forward more, but then I decided, no, I'm gonna have her like leaning back a little bit, because I kind of like that about the pose that I drew. Here I'm trying forward again, but nope, just get rid of that layer. I'm doing something that I kind of learned from Plague before. And that is to don't go with the first pose that you do. He says to always draw a few poses and then decide from there. And it's kind of what I did this time, and I'm glad I did, because I think the overall picture of Sakura that I drew turned out a lot better because of it. And here I'm actually also doing a little thing that I've seen other speed drawers do, and that's to start with kind of a smaller primary. I think that's the word for it. Just a smaller sketch, one of your earlier sketches, and then from there blow the picture up, make it bigger so that you can put in more details into the pic. And for me, I always start off with a nude anyway, and then build on that, which I've mentioned before in some of my other pictures that I have on DeviantArt. But when I draw a nude, I don't draw a nude. I just draw vague, kind of vague nude-ish body. It's more of a silhouette, really, and that's just so that you can get an idea of what the muscles and the anatomy are supposed to look like, to start off with, and then you build clothes on top of that, and it helps make it look a lot better. And the Sakura I drew over the course of a few days, because there I am making the picture bigger and stuff and readjusting a few things. I drew her over the course of a couple days, because like right now I'm gonna be really busy for a while. Here's a bunch of reference images of Sakura and Street Fighter V. I really like her outfit. It's so cute. I believe people were explaining that, and if I'm wrong, I'll look it up, and I'll put the real information on here. Otherwise, I'll just say that I did a good job. But I heard that her outfit is based off of, there's these in Japanese arcades, they have these girls that kind of go around and announce things that's going on, and that's kind of what Sakura's outfit is based on. And I was like, oh, that's super cool and super smart, because she better be out of high school by now. She's been in high school for like 6-7 years, and so it's about time she graduated and got herself a regular job. And I thought working at an arcade makes a lot of sense because Street Fighter originally was all about being in arcades and stuff like that. That's where it really became big, and then the home console versions is where most people like really played it the most. Like in my case, I played mostly Street Fighter 2 from the Super Nintendo port of it, and that's where I learned a lot of how to play it and stuff like that. And just Street Fighter has always been an arcade thing, and I was like, oh, Sakura working in an arcade, that's kind of weirdly meta and really cool. I'm really proud of how her face turned out in this. I've always kind of struggled with drawing cute girls. It's probably why I've been drawing mostly tomboyish girls lately, but that's beside the point. I'm really happy with this one because I thought she looks really cute, and which I think Sakura should, because she's just a cute little girl. Cute little girl, punch you in the face, throw a fireball at you, Hadouken, and she'll beat you up. She's super strong, and that's cool. One of the things I like about Sakura, she wants to be the strongest girl, and she wants to impress Ryu, because Ryu's cool, and she's simple like that, She's not overly complicated. She's just a fun character that just wants to fight and become stronger, and I like that about her. I've been watching Maximilian Dude play through all the games that Sakura has been in, doing the quote Sakura Legacy, and as I was watching it, I was just all like, man, Sakura is way cuter than I ever thought she was growing up. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to draw her. And I was initially going to draw her the way that she appears in Alpha, in Street Fighter Alpha 2, Alpha 3. But then like I said, I saw her new outfit, and I was just like, wow, that's really good. And so I decided to draw her in that instead. And I'm quite happy with this drawing. The art process definitely went by a lot faster than it did with Cammy last week, and I think it's mainly because since I was just trying to and being super careful with Cammy last week, drawing Sakura was a lot. I was less worried about it, I guess. And like I said, I think this whole look turned out really well. I think I did really good. But yeah, Sakura, she's kind of a fun character. I never really learned how to get too good with her. I think my Street Fighter mains have always been either Ryu or Ken, and like when Street Fighter 4 came out, I started maining Cammy a lot, and so I didn't really use Sakura very much. She just seemed too weird playstyle wise. I never could really get down her playstyle, but it's always been fun to watch somebody that really knows what they're doing use Sakura, because she's actually a pretty entertaining character to watch, I think. And so watching Max play through all the Sakura games, or all the games with Sakura in it, has been really fun, because he's really good at playing the Street Fighters, playing the fighting games, which is why I'm subscribed to him, because I've always been a big fan of fighting games, like since Street Fighter 2 back in the day, and like watching him play a bunch of the fighting games, really, like, it gets me excited. I was like, oh man, I'd like to be real good at the fighting games, but I'm not that good at the fighting games. Really, I think the fighting game that I'm best at is probably Super Smash Brothers, and I'm not ashamed to say it that I play Super Smash Brothers and I'm pretty good at it. Because you know what, it's a fun game and I have a good time playing it. A good time playing with my friends, and you know, I love Street Fighter. I love Street Fighter for such a long time, and I'm so excited that when they released the 30th anniversary like bundle that they're gonna be putting out with. Oh man, I'm gonna play that so much. It's funny. My roommate Josh would say that I don't actually love Street Fighter anymore, and that's because of how frustrated I've been getting whenever I play with mainly some of my other friends that are admittedly much better at Street Fighter than me. And it's mainly I get frustrated when I try to do an input of some kind and I'm in the middle of the battle and I don't do it right, and then I lose because of it. And it Street Fighter is the kind of game I shouldn't get frustrated with it, but I think that I'm better than I probably really am. And so when I don't do as good as I think I should, I get frustrated. And I guess that's probably a common thing for a lot of people, especially when they want to get really good at like fighting games and Street Fighter and other games similar to that. Which, you know, that's what getting salty is. And like, I don't want to be the kind of person that gets salty about everything. That's why I draw, I guess. You'll see little pauses in here every once in a while in the recording, which I really should have just edited those out. There's a pause here. But what I was doing is that Smiter had just recently, well, I wouldn't say just recently, a little while ago, a few months, got a hold of From Honor, or For Honor, excuse me, not From Honor, I'm an idiot, For Honor, and has been playing that a lot, and he got a copy of it for one of our mutual friends named Zeb, and he and Smiter have been, they've been playing a little bit, and they've been, you know, Smiter's been trying to show him how to play the game and stuff like that, and they've been having a good time with that. And they were doing duels and stuff, and I was just like, here, let me duel him one time. And I dueled him a couple times, and so the video stops a couple times while I'm playing just quick rounds of For Honor. Anyway, back to Sakura, and it's just like I started talking about it a little bit during my Kami drawing, but a lot of the, you know, legacy Street Fighter characters in Street Fighter V have gotten that new, like, I don't know, upgrade to their costumes, which I think is really interesting. I noticed Ryu is pretty much completely unchanged in his character design, just kind of maybe a little bit rougher than he was before, but otherwise pretty much looks the same as he has always looked since Street Fighter 2, and I think that's pretty cool. But almost everyone, with the exception of maybe Chun-Li, I have to get a better look at her, but pretty much everyone has had like either at least a slight update to their look. Some of them have had like major changes. Like Ken's look is drastically different than it was before, but I think it looks pretty good. Sakura, as you can see, is quite different than how she was before, but it's also still similar, and I feel like the feeling, I guess, of the character is still there in the design, and that's something that I think is really cool and that I really respect as a character design standpoint. That they can take these legacy characters that have had this iconic look for such a long time and kind of update it and make them still look like you can look at it and be like, okay, that's Sakura, obviously, or that's Ken, that's Chun-Li, that's Birdie, And like, it's something that Street Fighter V has done, and I've been thinking it's super cool. Yeah, now that I think about it, I was gonna say I don't know if all of the changes were ones that I liked, but now that I think about it, I think I pretty much liked all of the updated looks for everyone. Yeah, I can't really think of anybody. And then obviously all the new characters that they brought in, pretty much I'm pretty cool with all of them. I think Nikali's design, which is kind of the iconic character for Street Fighter V, I think it's good and it's really solid. I like it. And actually, they kind of made all of their characters pretty likable also. Street Fighter V is a pretty interesting game, because it's one that I can play because I'm a bad scrub and I'm bad at video games. And so they made it dumbed down and made it a baby game for babies like me, so that now I can do like combos and inputs and stuff like that. But I still do very poorly. Not against most of my friends. I'm gonna say all my friends. There's one buddy. He's a good guy. I get just so frustrated with him, and it's really not even his fault, because all he's doing is playing the game good. And I think I'm playing the game good, and then I do bad because I'm not that good, and it's just like, yeah, it's a funny thing being salty. But, you know, I can go back to drawing and feel better, I guess. And, yeah. I really like fighting games a lot. And I really like Sakura as a character. This updated design, I think, is really, really nice, really cute. And I'm really happy with how this picture turned out. And like I said, especially her face. I thought it turned out really cute. And I wasn't sure it was gonna. But, you know. And, you know, tomboyish girls are always going to be A-okay for me. And Smiter is a bigger fan of, like, more proper girls, like girly girls, which is also fine with me. But Sakura's great. And there she is. All finished. Yeah. Street Fighter's fun. I love Sakura's new design. She's going to be a fun character. When we download her and try her out, I'm sure I'm going to have a lot of fun. And actually, a lot of the new characters I think are going to be a lot of fun to try out when they come out too. But yeah, thanks for watching this kind of rambly speed drawing, but kind of went off on a little bit of a tangent. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to hope to have another one for you probably as soon as possible. I might take a little bit longer because I'm kind of working on a separate project at the moment. But we'll see. Hopefully it won't take too long, though. Thanks a bunch for listening. You guys have a good one.